How damning is this filing by Baylor to those that were part of that football staff?
David, I'm speechless trying to come up with more words and adjectives to describe the absolute disgust and repugnancy of what we are learning. I mean, Art Briles is a man who some schools actually considered hiring, including the University of Houston. There were people at Baylor who wanted him back, and I think now we are finally beginning to get the whole story. I still get sick when I think about Art Briles' game day mea culpa a couple of months ago when he could barely cough up the words to show an ounce or a modicum of remorse. I think he's finished as a head football coach, or as any coach for that matter. And I think you have to wonder now about his son, who is currently on Lane Kiffin's staff at FAU. And you really have to wonder about this program. I know they celebrated a very good recruiting day under Matt Rule, and I don't want to blame him, and nobody can blame him. Everyone there is new, but the culture to me still has a stench that I don't know if it's ever going to be washed away. I firmly believe the NCAA has to get involved here. I mean, this is a systemic problem. It goes to the very top of the university, and we're now learning so much more about Art Briles' state of mind. And if you go through these text messages, and again, there are two sides to every story, but it's really unbelievable to think of some of the things that he would say in response to allegations of gang rape, in trying to cover things up. I have never seen anything quite like what I am learning today and have learned over the last year in relation to one man in particular, and that's Art Briles. But I really believe that stadium there, that shrine to Art Briles, was built with blood money. And I blame everyone on that board of trustees, that board of regents, who was complicit in this. And they can play a legal game now with Art Briles, and they are. And they'll equivocate and they'll point the finger at him because he's now gone. But they are the problem. They embraced him, they enabled him, and it was from the top down, from the former chancellor and president, Ken Starr, to members of this board, who, by the way, had a debate a couple of months ago, if you remember, about whether he should be considered able to come back or not. I mean, that's the disgusting part of all this, in spite of everything else. And listen, we've already talked about the victims in this, and hopefully one day they'll find peace, although I don't know how they're going to, considering what has been going on over the last couple of years at Baylor University.